Wubba dub dub motherfuckers. What is going on, everyone? It is I. It is everyone's favorite jack of all trades with the foul mouth, Commodore Urban, and welcome back to another awesome fucking video, guys. I greatly do appreciate it. And before I do dive into this bitch, I want a big special shout out to all of you guys, my viewers and my subscribers, for sticking around watching this shit. It's the reason why I fucking do it for all you guys, so yeah. And as you can see my model of the USS Arizona BB-39, 1/200 scale by Trumpeter models. And you can also see my 1 in 426 scale model by Revell. You're probably wondering, why the hell do we have this shit out? Well, if you guys remembered, not too long ago, for the like the 83rd anniversary, for the 83rd anniversary of the attack of Pearl Harbor, I reviewed Daniel Allen Butler's amazing masterpiece book on the subject, Pearl, December 7th, 1941. Well, we got ourselves another book about Pearl Harbor, guys, and this one is a really amazing book, because this book is actually stories from people who were there, meaning people who were either part of the Japanese fleet of the attack, or people that were in Pearl Harbor and witnessed and was part of this very tragic story that unfolds. And the book I'm talking about, I'm going to review today, guys, it is Air Raid Pearl Harbor, Recollections of a Day of Infamy, edited by Paul Stilwell. He didn't write this, he edited it. So, even though it's got his name on here, but this was a recollection of stories from Pearl Harbor survivors, which makes this book absolutely fucking a treasure trove, because not many Pearl Harbor survivors are living, and as for survivors from the Arizona, there's none left alive, so that's fucking a shame. But recollections are inside this book, and it's absolutely wonderful. And on the front cover, we have the only battleship that actually made any movement that day, the USS Nevada, as she's steaming out. She's already torpedoed at this rate, but a Val dive bomber, which you can see here, is dropping a torpedo to the ship. And this one's already pressed attack, flying away. And on the back side, we have the California, and I believe that's Maryland. I believe that's the West Virginia. I believe that's Maryland. I'm not sure. I can't really remember, but pretty awesome painting overall. So anyway, it says right here, Air Raid Pearl Harbor. President Franklin D. Roosevelt characterized December 7th, December 1941 as a date which will live in infamy. It was that and more. A watershed in the lives of millions of Americans. It woke up a nation divided over whether or not to participate in the world war already in progress. People reached with shock, anger, and a sense of united purpose. Overnight they became determined to crush the foe, which was struck without warning on a quiet Sunday morning in Hawaii. Air Raid Pearl Harbor recaptures the experiences that moved the nation to action and presents them from the perspectives of a cross-section of the people involved. 47 participants, some of whom were in Hawaii, others in Washington, the Philippine Islands, Tokyo, and at sea. This recollection of first-person narratives, nearly half of which are published here for the first time, recounts the events as they took place. The Japanese flyer who led the raid tells of sending the famous signal Tor, 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 a U.S. aviator who, in 1937, magazine article sends a startling message, Air Raid Pearl Harbor, this is no drill. And the U.S. Secretary of Labor who recalls the reaction of a shaken President Roosevelt as he formulated his response on the night of 7th of December. A kaleidoscope of personal experiences provides a composite picture, of what took place on the ships and ashore. 5 accounts detailed the part played by the battleship Nevada from the first moments of the attack to her dramatic attempts to escape the harbor, to her salvage afterwards in her role later in the war. An officer from the battleship Oklahoma wonders why he was spared when so many of his shipmates were killed. And an officer from the Arizona says that he survived only because he was ashore with his family when his ship blew up and sank. Here are observations by civilians on the scene. One Navy wife tells of ministering to the wounded in a hospital, while another describes what happened when martial law was decreed in Hawaii. A newsman recalls the pain he felt when asked by a son of Admiral Kimmel, Commander-in-Chief of the fleet at Pearl Harbor, "Do you think my father is really as guilty as everybody says he is?" Nearly 250 photographs, many never before published, illustrate the dramatic events described in this book, and detailing what happened before, on, and following the fateful Sunday morning. Air Raid Pearl Harbor brings the terrifying raid into sharp focus. For those who were there at Pearl Harbor and those who simply want to know more about the event, Air Raid Pearl Harbor recaptures a critical moment in the history of a war that will never be forgotten. And fuck, it does. Like I said, when it comes to books on Pearl Harbor, a lot of them retell the same old shit. But this one, I really love this one because it is actual recollections from people who were there. 47 individuals they got stories from, which filled this book. And they were all jaw-dropping and shocking. And it was just shocking. And like the very first one, I led the air attack on Pearl Harbor. This was Captain Mitsu Fuchida. This was the man who led the attack off of Akagi. Okay? And reading about how he and the other Japanese naval flyers, did the attack. Because, see, it was crazy. I mean, it's just how secretive and how cunning the Japanese are. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I mean, Japanese people are very smart. Because, see, there's the first attack. And it came in, the second attack came in this formation. I mean, it was very well planned. Very well planned. I also read about the time when he sent the message, Tora, 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 meaning attack. And, yeah. There he is right here. Look like he could have been a nice guy, actually. But because, like I said, if you read the book Pearl, by Daniel Allen Butler, he explains the reasons why Pearl Harbor happened. And it sucks. And there's just so much to this. Absolutely a lot. And, see the Hawaiian operations, which is about their perspective of the Japanese naval surface fleet. They were nearby, but they didn't engage. And also the Japanese midget subs. There was midget subs that got into harbor that day, and these were the men that died in the midget subs. So, and there's one of the midget subs right there that washed up on shore. Like I said, the Japanese were very, very, very cunning, very clever. But in the end, they had the fucking sun dropped on them not once, but twice. So, I wouldn't wish that on nobody, honestly, because that's horrible. And of course, we have the stories, other stories too, that I really like about the Nevada, the only ship that got underway at Pearl Harbor that day, and about her eventual salvaging, which they salvaged her, and also her recommissioning back into service. Much a different looking ship, but she still was. And of course, the Commander Paul Backus, he describes his ordeal in the Oklahoma as she rolled over and sank, and it's absolutely heart-wrenching. Because the fact he talks about how he and several of his shipmates literally walked the side of the ship as they rolled over, and then afterwards they were able to take a boat, escaped the capsized in Oklahoma. He took a boat from the Maryland and helped to rescue others. He and his companion were able to shake off the fog of war. Remember how to start the boat's engine. So, that's... And another guy, too, that really... It's saddening, too, about Vice Admiral Keebler S. Masterson. And talks about the only reason why he survived that day was because his family lived in Pearl Harbor at the time, and he was staying with them, you know, at where they lived, you know, nearby the harbor and not on board the ship. Had they not been there, this guy here would have been dead. And it just, you read all these different stories and just, you can feel the sadness, the despair, the anger, and the heart, and just, these guys were young. These were all young men. And they literally got thrown into this shitstorm that the Japanese brought down upon them. And many ships were destroyed that day, but they were also rebuilt. And, I mean, other people too, like, there's the Pennsylvania. She was spared because of the fact she was in dry dock at the time. Well, these two destroyers here, these is, I think, Cassin and Downs, they were severely fucked. And of course, yeah, Tai Sing Lu, he was a reporter and a photographer in Pearl Harbor. And he took pictures of everything. It's absolutely crazy. And once, you know, you read through all this and actually can understand, you know, everything in the end of what these people went through. And it's, some of it's shocking, some of it's jaw-dropping, and others are just, it's just sad. And once I got done reading this book, I really truly did understand one thing about this whole ordeal, that this shit should have never happened. Had things worked out differently, Pearl Harbor never would have happened, but miscommunication and other odds and ends and shit. And the best way to really explain more about the why Pearl Harbor did fucking happen, read Daniel Allen Butler's book, Pearl, December 7th, 1941. He explains it very vividly and very detailed. Great book on the subject. But as for, you know, survivors and people that were there to recount what happened, this is amazing. And I'm so grateful that they were able to put it all together in one place. And I'm thankful that Mr. Stillwell actually edited it too. Great book. Fucking magnificent masterpiece. I give it 2 thumbs up. 5 stars. Absolutely lovely. Great fucking book. So there you have it, guys. That is my review of Air Raid Pearl Harbor, Recollections of a Day of Infamy, edited by Paul Stillwell. And if you have any questions or comments about anything you just fucking watch, leave them in the comment section below. I'll get back with you. And if you're new to the channel, like the shit I fucking do, hit the fucking subscribe button, hit the damn notification bell. Never miss a video from yours truly ever again. And until next time around, this is Commodore Urban, saying a smooth seas and clear skies and happy sailing with you all. God bless you all. Take care. Stay safe. Jesus and the good Lord, they all love you very much. Until next time around, I'll catch you in a warm trade wind where the hell anyone knows. And let's go, Brandon. Fuck Joe Biden and Kamala Harris both. They both fucking suck because they're going to be gone, baby, because Trump's our president now, so yeah.